Become a channel member and support the content. You also get access to exclusive videos. You'll get an emote next to your name in the comments. The link for that can be found next to the subscribe button or in the description. And beat the random lottery that is FIFA points by buying the coins direct from u7buy.com. Use code TVM at checkout for a 5% discount, or if you're a new customer, get 8% discount. The link is down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new player review. EA dropped an SBC yesterday that shocked me a little bit. I really didn't expect him to be as quote-unquote cheap as he was. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me. On the market, he is around 700 to 800k depending on your platform. Xbox, of course, cheaper than PlayStation, always is. PC, he's up toward $1 million, which is typical of PC. The SBC is going to cost you about $500,000, which on paper is a decent discount, I suppose, and you do get one or two okay packs back. The Small Break Gold Players pack is actually quite decent. In fact, in my, I think, 3 of the packs actually gave me some decent stuff. I think I made about 100,000 coins back in packs. Didn't pack anything amazing, but just 87s these days are selling for quite a lot, right? So all you need to do is hit something. I'm not saying you're going to, but if you can hit something, you can make some decent money back on this. Now, why I said cheap was because you can disregard the bronze and the silver teams. We can more or less complete them for nothing. Just use any 11 rares. It could be whatever league you want, right? The 3 squads that are going to cost you money here, 2 84s and an 86. That isn't bad, is it? For a 93 rated prime moments. If this was like a prime or his mid or something, then fair enough. But if you've got a couple of untradeable cards in the club that you've been hanging on to for a while, they're untradeable, they don't have a value, therefore, that's the way I see it anyway. I mean, it's not difficult to grind it out with the upgrades that we have. With the icon swaps, packs and things like that, you can get some high-rated cards. This is a very obtainable centre-back with moderate pace. I wouldn't say he's fast. If you put a shadow on him or a catalyst on him, one of the 2 chem styles is going to be the one you have to use. You can turn him into a 95 rated centre-back or a 93 rated centre-back. I know it sounds a bit stupid. Why would you want to turn him into a 93 when you can turn him into a 95? The catalyst improves the passing, which in my opinion is probably the only thing about the card that would need a little nudge in the right direction. He has mid to high 90s for defending. He has very good physicals across the board. His reactions and composure are on point. He's got the right work rates. He's stocky. 3-star weak foot, which for a centre-back, in my opinion, is good enough. He played in a 5 at the back, more or less a 3 at the back with the way that I play. The 2 full-backs, or the 2 wing-backs, I should say, they're on overlap and... what's the other one? Is it get forward? Can't remember what the option is. But you know what I mean? They're constantly bombing forward, and they don't exactly have high defensive work rates either. So I'm more or less playing 3 at the back here. And he held his own. Like, he felt quite agile, he felt quite fast, he had a shadow on him. I didn't really think it through. I completed the SBC, and I just needed to get into a game to get the reviews done, because it was getting on a bit, right? So I thought, right, well, I won't look at it too much. He needs pace, I'll give him a shadow. That's what we do with defenders, right? We just give people shadows and whack a shadow on him and it'll be fine. Having looked at it afterwards and having played with him for a few games, I think it probably would benefit him to have a catalyst, because that passing being improved would turn him into a far better centre-back. You can then defend with him, you can run with him, he's got the strength, and now you can play the ball out from the back as well. So he'll have everything so long as you give him that catalyst. So that would be the top of my list in terms of chem styles to use. Shadow does, of course, improve the defensive stats, only slightly, because there's only a certain amount of room you have above where his stats currently are, right? So that's the one that turns him into a 95 rated centre-back. However, don't be fooled by the overall rating that Footbin gives you. It doesn't always come down to how well they perform on paper. It's how well they perform in-game. And when it comes to Puyol, this guy, in my opinion at least, is somewhat of an end-game centre-back. I know a lot of people will disagree with me because he's not got the pace of, you know, a boosted Raphael Varane or some of the team of the season cards we're likely to get. And yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It would be nice if he had sort of 80-something acceleration and sprint speed right from the get-go, or even in the 90s, you know, such as like the Kyle Walkers and things. Yes, that would make him better again. However, I'm realistic, and I like to use high-rated cards where possible, and I like to use icons. Puyol is cheap. He's 200 to 250,000 coins cheaper then you can buy him on the market. You get a couple of decent tradable packs back, and then you have a defender that can quite easily sit in your defense until the end of the game. I know full well, for someone who plays the game as much as I do, I know I'll be using him in every team that I build, and I know that I'll be using him until the end of the game. I honestly can't see me thinking, right, now's the time to give up Puyol in an SBC, or now's the time to relegate him to the reserves and I'll use these 2 or 3 centre-backs instead. This guy is very, very good at jockeying, which does surprise me considering he has 56 agility and 57 balance. However, he is an icon, so I think he has some sort of icon factor. I've said that for years. I feel like icons perform just that little bit better just because they're icons. And I don't know whether that's something that's in my head and a lot of other people's actually, because a lot of people agree with me. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think there's something a little extra to icons with the way that they're coded to make them perform just slightly better. Maybe they've got a 10% increase on the stats that are actually shown on paper. I'm not sure what it is, but he is a very, very good defender. Hardly anything got past him. He jockeyed very, very well. Yes, it would be nice if he had more pace, and yes, it would be nice if his passing was a little bit more consistent. But in all honesty, if you put him in your team, I can't see you taking him out of your team at all until the end of the game. He's one of those cards you can slot in there and just not worry about him then. He's just top quality. And there's nothing really more to say about him. I know full well when Team of the Season comes out, we're going to have these... okay, maybe sometimes you're going to have these really fast, good defenders that are not easy to link into teams, but you will have the odd defender who is from a top 5 league with a good nation, who's got 80-something, 90-something pace with great defending. And you'll be thinking, well, then maybe the time to upgrade him. And yeah, maybe, but at the same time, this is an icon. You get the links from him as well. That goes a little bit in his favour. You can always rely on him to fit in any team that you build because he's an icon and he links to everyone. And he's always going to be able to defend. He's 5'10", so a lot of people might argue again from set pieces he's not going to win that many headers. But he does have 88 jumping, and he does have 94 heading. So if you give him an anchor, for example, you can improve all that again. I wouldn't necessarily recommend an anchor, but if you are worried about that, you could give him an anchor and sorted. But throw a catalyst on him, play with him, and tell me that you won't keep him in your team till the end of the game. If you don't, fair enough, that's up to you. But in my opinion, this is a top quality centre-back that is at a very good price point in terms of an SBC. Far better than the other one, Nedved and Kluivert, I think it is. Typical icons for EA to throw out. Let me know what you think of the SBC and the player, of course, in the comment section. If you have enjoyed the review, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.